We're okay. Hey, how you doing? John Franco is with me today from Third Mutual. And John, you've got a lot of different things to talk about today. And the first topic we're going to talk about is the makeup of the board, because you have someone new who who we've had on, John Pearlstone. But the board is looking for a couple other people to join them, right?
That's true. And first, I'd like to welcome John Pearlstone, and he has been on TV,
Yes.
and he's got a very strong accounting background, and he's going to be a really solid contributing member. And,
Yeah,
we're
he's a nice guy.
We're very pleased with his energy and his apparent dedication.
Yes.
And there are 2 openings, and we would certainly encourage any resident who expresses an interest and would like to contribute. I've been on the board now 3 years, and it's a marvelous opportunity to be to help and contribute to the community. And I would recommend anyone who wants to put themselves in that position and has something to offer and is willing to get involved, to please take the opportunity. The applications are due by February 13th. Go upstairs to the second floor, Catherine Laster, and she'll help you with the application.
All right, so people have just a little over 2 weeks to
Yes.
get those in. Okay.
And the
very
election is on February 2nd.
Okay.
So February 22nd.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. So February 13th is the final day.
good. All right, very good. Now you want to talk about landscape.
Yes, I mentioned the last time I was here that we're doing a slope fire mitigation in cooperation with the Orange County Fire Authority. The slope along my cul-de-sac has been completely barren and made barren. All of the bushes that have been taken out, and the acacia. And they use something called hydroseeding, and they
Yes.
sprayed it, and it's very, very effective.
Yeah.
And it's growing nicely, and we're very pleased. And it appears that the fire mitigation and hydroseeding that has been done is effective throughout the.
Yeah, that works really well.
Okay, well, Roundup has been discussed here, and it's been discussed pretty much all over. Third has decided and voted that our policy is we will not use it. But the alternative solution is not easy, because Roundup's very effective, and it takes an organic herbicide to replace it, and it's 3-4 times
Yes.
more expensive, because it takes 3 or 4 times the amount to accomplish the task. So we're going to do a 45-day test, and we hope that we've got 4 or 5 organic herbicides, and we think Landscape thinks they've got a solution, but they have to test and find out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an out-of-the-way site at Gate 11 where they do the test, and we'll probably be using it. United will probably adopt to it once we find that it's successul.
All right, very good. Now, ongoing turf reduction.
So there's an area at the, well, first off, if we reduce the turf, we can save water. And we go with a drought-tolerant plant system. So there's an area as you enter Gate 14 that we're going to remove a portion, or we're going to move some of the area, we're going to remove the grass and put in a drought-tolerant landscape. There was a test done at Gate 3, and if you go over to Gate 3, you can see the effective drought-tolerant landscape. It really looks good, and we'd like to create something like that. And there is water to be saved. That doesn't mean we're going to take out all the grass, because we're certainly not going to do that throughout the village. But there are places where we can do turf reduction, which makes sense.
All right, and I know was very good with this, and I know he's leaving the board, James Tung, but he's spent so much time looking at alternatives to turf, to grass,
Yes.
that from a distance still has the same look.
Oh, I forgot to
But,
mention,
you know,
we're going to hire a consultant.
yeah.
We have 3 or 4 consultants, and they're going to come up with proposals.
Yeah.
And they're going to do a landscape plan for this area at Gate 14. And we'll certainly communicate with all of the residents. And there won't be any surprises to anybody, and it'll be a very professional accomplishment, a very professional improvement.
All right, moving on to traffic and safety, and I know that you are on this committee, the traffic and maintenance construction as well, so got a couple different things to talk about.
I sit on the monthly hearings for traffic violations, and we had had about 30 of them that were heard last week. And one of them caught my eye, and I want to mention it to our residents. If you have a golf cart, please get the new golf cart decal. It turns out there was a new golf cart decal, and now it's being required.
Okay.
The notice was sent out last year, and people either didn't get the notice or haven't followed up. And now we had 15 violations of golf cart decals for the failure to have the new decal, and it is required.
And to get that, just come down here to the community center, and they can even put it on for you.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, very good.
Let me mention Code Red, and I'm sure it has been mentioned a half a dozen times, and I'll hold it up so that people can see it. It's very important that we have a means to communicate with our residents. And I don't know, we probably got 30, 40, maybe 50% so far. We need 100% of our residents.
Right, this is really a great idea.
And finally, the key file. A lot of you folks may not be aware, but it's important that all residents turn a key in. It's important for the resident in case of emergency, but it's also important for Laguna Woods Village in case there's a leak of some kind, in case you're out of town and there's a fire, there's mold. It's very important to have access in a security circumstance for, excuse me, for all residents to have their keys on file.
Yeah, very good idea. Now moving on to maintenance and construction.
So I also sit in executive hearings, and we had a half a dozen alterations that had been taken place, and folks hadn't gotten the permit. It's extremely important that every alteration be permitted. And please go down to Property Services and tell them, show them, give them a plan, what it is you're going to do, and get a permit. And some permits require city approvals also, and you'll be advised of that. And if you don't do that, you may be subject or will be subject to an executive hearing violation and a fine.
Okay.
So it's very, very important.
All right. And now chargeable services.
And I mentioned that before. Third Mutual is got their alternative to the handyman program, which United is using, and our alternative is chargeable services, and we've got a wide variety of chargeable services, and the costs for the services are here, and it's a complete wide variety of every possible thing that you can do, and rather than go out and get your own vendor. And
and people can find this online as well. Right?
Absolutely, it's available online, and it includes carpentry, and electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, and many, many other services.
All right.
And finally, Shepherd's Crook has, that's that barbed wire alternative that we've placed on Ridge Route at Avenue de la Carlota. And that project is now complete. It looks great. I did want to mention that there are circumstances where The barbed wire has deteriorated in other places along the village wall, and if we have to replace that barbed wire, the city is requiring that we continue to use the shepherd's crook.
Okay. All right. Then finally, the Energy Task Force.
We have completed the streetlight acquisition. Third Mutual has bought all of the streetlights in the Third Mutual area from Southern California Edison. And there will be several advantages to this streetlight acquisition. Third will maintain the lights, and one of the advantages, there will be a significantly greater response. SCE has not been responsive in replacing light outages. And we've got a contract with Siemens, who is a consultant that also does field work. And they will have a 3-day responsiveness if there is a light out, so that's a very positive thing. There'll be no more charges. SCE charges us for service charges. So there'll be an immediate savings of $103,000 a year. And now we intend to convert all the lights to LED. And there'll be a savings in energy there. So we're going to do a pilot program with Siemens, who is our consultant. And they will provide some alternative light fixtures. We'll do a pilot and figure out which light fixture is optimum, best for us. And we're looking forward to a very improved street lighting circumstance.
All right.
And this pilot program will launch immediately.
Very good.
Thank you very much. And I might mention that we on the third board have been given the option to be on this TV series, and 2 or 3 of us have opted out, and I have been one of them, so I won't be coming back anymore and doing TV anymore.
All right.
Some folks really like it, and it's not necessarily one of my favorite things.
All right. Well, we like having you here. Good to see you. I know I'll see you around.
I've enjoyed it.
All right. You take care. Thank you, John, and we'll be back in just a moment.